Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for coming back, and I'm just going to show you the Protaband Bandsaw bench that I made. There is one from Swag Off-Road that you can buy, and it's a really nice one. I think it also has all the different holes for all the different brands and manufacturers and all that stuff. But I don't know how often I'm going to use this, but I was thinking about getting into knife making. And making a couple of knives and that kind of thing. So I figured a bandsaw like this would be a whole lot nicer to have with the metal bandsaw blade on there, as opposed to my wood cutting bandsaw. I can just leave the wood cutting bandsaw blade on there and leave it alone and not have to mess with it, because whenever I cut metal, I'm usually not cutting anything really thick or really big with it. It's usually just little stuff. So that's where this Protaband will come in really handy. This old Protaband bandsaw I got for, I don't remember how much it was. It wasn't too much. It needed new wheels, the little rubber that goes around the wheel. It needed a new one of those, and the blade. So I took it apart and cleaned it out real good, and it works good. The cord has had better days. That should be fairly easy to replace, but all you do, you get your little spring clamp and stick it on the trigger, and you're good to go. So I'll bring you in a little bit closer and show you kind of what I did. So this is 15.5 inches wide by 13.5 inches deep. Honestly, that's just what I had at the time, so that's what this got. I had to make a little cutout notch here for the back part of the blade to fit into, as well as cutting this around, so this would fit as far back as possible. So this was, I think this was bed frame material. That's why there's holes in it. Kind of see around. But this is 1.5 inch angle iron, and just kind of welded it on the inside and on the outside, so nothing too crazy. So what I did was I drilled and tapped 2 holes in here so I just used a 832 machine screw. Or bolt, whatever. That was the same that was in on this side. There's 2, one back there and one up here. They were 832. So I just drilled and tapped for 832. Like I said, here's another piece of that. There's a piece of a plate, and then there was I don't know how well you can see that, but I just made a spacer to make it level between this side and this side, so whenever this comes on top, it's level across the top. So this was actually pretty easy to do, and as you can see, I only had to drill 4 bolt holes, and I didn't mess up. That amazes me. So I got this on here, and then I just, having that plate underneath this helps me a lot to do the final cut and put these bolt holes in where they need to go. On the plate underneath it, I just eyeballed where I wanted to have the screws go, and then I used that and stuck it on top of this, drew out where I needed to cut this out. I don't know. If y'all want me to go more in depth, I can. But anyways, I think you get the point. Alright, so I measured, make sure that this was straight, and drew a line and cut it whenever I put this on there. Before, this area right here, I actually had a notch, and if I didn't have the blade on there, it'd fit just right. but having the blade on there, it wouldn't fit, so I had to stick it in this way. Anyways, I had to cut this little notch off, because whenever you put it on, you kind of stick it in kind of this way, I guess. So with something like this, I could cut a knife out or whatever. Usually what I'm cutting is pretty small. Again, this is going to be mostly for cutting curves and points and stuff like that. That's the saw to hack off and get things to the size you want, and this manipulates to the rough dimensions, and then after you cut this down to the rough dimensions, then you can take it over to your grinder or your sander and get it thrusted away. So, but yeah, like I said, this is fairly easy to do, and this is an old one, but it still runs like a champ. And again, all I have to do if I want to make this portable again is just take out the 4 screws and slide, well, you'll slide that off and you're good to go. As small as this is, it's still small enough to be pretty portable and take it to wherever you need it. But again, if you need to make it more portable the way it was, no modifications. The 2 little screw holes that I made doesn't interfere with anything. Whenever I bought this, I think there's like a shoe or something like that, so you may need to take that off and stick a magnet up underneath it and stick it onto the magnet, I guess. But mine didn't come with one, so I don't know how it comes originally. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you got any questions, feel free to ask, and if I need to go more in depth on this video and some other ones, let me know. I'm just trying this out to see if it's worth all the hassle of recording while I'm working, or if I can just show you the end product and kind of how I did it. So this is my channel, but it's also your channel too, so you get to help me run this the way you want it, I guess. Obviously to a certain degree, but alright, I'm done rambling. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all comment, rate, and we will catch you later. Thanks for watching. See ya.